homework, and I choose my son because I'm walking through a very intense period with him right now, and I chose him because I know his design in a very deep level, but this relationship analysis and these a couple of days and weeks that I have been spending in searching all of our aspects that we click together, or where we are separated or compromised, it really opened my eyes in a totally different way. And so I'm really thankful for this, because no matter how I know his design in details, it showed me how we are totally different from each other, and pointed me those places through which my role as mother is huge in his maturing. And definitely there is so many new parts that I'm learning from him, definitely, which is my great drive in this life, because I have a lot of wants, line one in my design, and I'm really here to learn, to investigate, to go deeper and deeper, and he gives me that aspect that I really do need. So he's also leading me in some new horizons, in totally new ways. So let's start. I will, during this, I will pretend that I am a human design analyst who is giving relationship reading to mother and her son. So let's start. Niksha. Niksha is a 15-year-old teenage boy who has open and developing aura, and he's here to respond to life. Sometimes, although Niksha, you may think that this is hard and maybe interpret waiting to respond as doing nothing, but you are here to generate energy when you do what you love. Then it is responding. You are not here to initiate or force something to happen. Responding definitely enables you to find what is correct for you. And in your case, one step further is waiting for your emotional clarity. Always through responding, but after your emotional clarity, for you, when you are emotional clear, you are here really to engage your energy in whatever that lights you up. For you, there is no truth in the now, Niksha. You are not designed to jump into action, not waiting to respond, and maybe afraid that no one will ask you what you want to be asked, will bring a lot of frustration into your life. As a part of the costume in this life, you are designed to find wholeness with others, especially through bargains. For example, when you are negotiating with your mother and you are telling her, Mom, will you do the dishes and I will take the garbage out? This is a bargain, but also what is important for you here is, if you're negotiating about some serious bargains, not this one like everyday activities, if you want to be correct to yourself, never accept bargain in the moment. Why? Because bargain needs to be approached in a very careful way over time. This is your bargain part. And always in responding through your emotional wave, through time, when bargain is struck with mutual clarity, can you ultimately succeed in terms of your decisions through life. If you're trying to manifest or initiate without waiting to respond to what life naturally brings to you, you may experience intense frustration. Also, what lights you up is definitely your brilliant way of thinking and processing data and information. That's because of that, you are here to share with the others only when you are asked for your opinion. Your logical mind is of enormous value to humanity. Mind that directly asks questions and gives answers. You have a real ease in the way in which you deal with mental patterns and the way in which life can be interpreted through those patterns. What also brings quality to your path on which you are walking is a design of mental activity and clarity. It is one of the busiest and extremely active and constantly moving mind that seeks clarity. It can be reasonably clear or reasonably certain, depending upon the amount of time you have waited through wave. Your abstract mind comes to the answers only over time. You are a great searcher, Niksha, but in a way of not finding anything, just enjoying in searching of interpretations of the history, which is your great gift. We, as a humanity, would have no continuity as a species without your extraordinary ability to make up interpretations of the past and share it with us. It is said that this kind of people tells the best stories of anyone. Have you recognized sometimes that you can hear through your so-called third ear? Your mind can be sometimes very loud on the inside, but just remember that those knowing process called genius to freak is truly only focused on one thing: to bring mental efficiency to whatever you are occupied with in your life process. Always remember that in responding through emotional clarity, you will feel what of those mental concepts are ready to share to the community. Also remember that your beautiful receptive aura will bring a lot of stress from the other people, or your surroundings in which you are at the moment. You're not designed, Niksha, to be in a hurry. No. Your mother told me that you sometimes eat very quickly when you are in the restaurant. Is it true? I just want to clarify you that that pressure is not correct for your system. It is a sign that the auras from other people impact you in a way that you can feel drive and pressure to eat fast. Just allow pressure to flow through without acting on it. And I'm just also curious about one thing about you. Are you spontaneous, Niksha? Well, you cannot trust the now. And each time when you are spontaneous, you are somehow living the life of the person that is pressuring you. Try to get over the temptation to be impulsive, and you will, through your life, ultimately become highly intuitive. And this is your great wisdom, how intuition works. You are for that here. What also brings one of your great quality is empowerment of your behavior. That means that you have very fixed behavioral patterns in your life, which empowers others to fix their own behavior. Your great advantage here is to be able to behave as oneself without any interference and to empower others to live as themselves without interference. Always in responding and after emotional clarity. You need to be in the mood for the exploration and seeking out what you love. From that vantage, you will always be able to follow your own convictions. Just remember that your emotional wave goes up and down from hope and pleasure to pain and despair, and does so in a way that ratchets up, then explodes. You cannot control or avoid it. You just simply need to move through it and allow the time for the wave to process and assimilate information. To avoid chaos, confusion, and frustration, you need to wait through the cycles until you reach the clarity before making any kind of decisions. You can see here on this graph that your emotions are separated from the other parts of your chart. It's separated from the throat, and it's separated from your sacral center. So you need to pay particularly close attention to your body nervousness to determine whether or not you reach clarity. In the terms of human design, you are, it's so-called triple split. What does it mean? That means that 3 nikshas is living inside of you. One niksha is very emotional, the other niksha is following its convictions through life, and the third niksha is very intellectually dominant with its way to express himself. So that is mean triple split. Since your life force energy is split off from your emotions, that means life force energy is split off from your emotions and your throat, your mind can sometimes think that you need to initiate speaking. Your mind can, oh, sorry, let me go back. Your mind can think sometimes that you will need to initiate speaking, but that is not the truth. Sometimes you may know what you feel, but not how to express it verbally. That is your not self, because silence makes you nervous. Also, you may think, your mind is thinking that you need to speak about secrets. That is not the truth. That is chattering of your mind. Sometimes your mind can force you to act or be impatient, act prematurely, or be ambitious also. Always in responding when emotionally clear, you will recognize the right moment to share what is most valuable from your remembering, because it will be drawn from you by other people. You are 4/6, right? And you will be very influential through your network of people, Niksha, and all of your opportunities will come through your network of close cycle of people you know, but later in life, later. You are here to externalize your talents to the community and support your tribe. With your 6th line, Niksha, you are unique, capable, and wise authority who is interested in the broader view and in seeing what's on the horizon. Also, you are very optimistic, idealistic, and visionary, and your life path will go through tripartite process. What does it mean? That means that first 30 years of your life, it's so-called subjective youth, a period of trial and error, discovery by you, Niksha, together experience. From 30 to 50 years old, it's called objective midlife, a time of retreat, healing, enjoying life, gaining perspective, and regaining optimism. You will learn how to be an observer and judge who is wise and objective. And after 50 years of age and beyond, its so-called transcendent older age, you are receiving a calling to re-engage with life and to become a living example of optimism, wisdom, awareness, and objective detachment. You emerge as role model in the world. You are in the cross of planning, at the quarter of initiation, purpose fulfilled through initiating, and your energy is here to create deals and bargains as a part of forming community. Your energy strives to contribute to the creation, fortification of or continuance of community in whatever shape and form that takes. One step further, it is your mother. So Yelena also as your sun generator, but the difference between you two is that you are more quicker in your movement through life and especially decision-making strategy. You really do not need to wait for clarity, as your clarity comes through responding to life in the now. You are here to share your logical understanding about the patterns that needs to be perfected, because in your collective logical process lies deep competition to reach perfection. It is the beauty of it. You know what is said for collective people? It is said, it's quote, if you are on the road to perfection and you have defined collective channel, you are not going to listen. You are not here to share so much really as you are here to tell, I've got it. Also, through your insatiable taste for correction, you bring ability to challenge social and moral conditioning. Without the dissatisfaction and drive for perfection, our critical abilities wouldn't be refined. You really do not need the other so much as your son to assist you in assimilation of information or to feel a sense of wholeness because you digest information rapidly. But Niksha needs public aura to feel wholeness. He needs movement through life. Always. This brings us to your very individual and empowering energy who is here to initiate changes. Bring a totally different way of doing and thinking. You have 3 individual channels here. So you're really here to initiate. You are really here to bring totally different way of doing and thinking. You are here to be who you are, and through your authentic and empowering way, others will feel the freedom to express themselves. You really cannot live here if you are trying to adapt, because your great charisma comes through responding to all of those activities and deeds that lights you up, that brings you joy to your life. Only in that way you will feel satisfaction through life. Through your intuitive intelligence, it's here, intuitive intelligence, you bring mutative capacity or creative capacity for transformation. You are here to share your intelligence and to empower others to be intelligent. Your empowering energy in responding always finds the real heart of the life. Here. The source of life, the font of life. It's so called the font of life. This potential energy is able to survive by intelligence in your responding to life. The very basis of life is to respond. I like the quote from Ra. He said, with each breath, the generators of earth generate the life we all live. Without them, there is no life. It is at the very basis of these mechanisms that we ride in as passengers. They are designed for intelligent response. Sometimes you may feel that you need to initiate emotional decisions or play nice just to avoid confrontation and truth. Remember that it is your mind, it is not you. As also may unconsciously experience fear of not having someone to love or to be passionate about. Also, what is hidden from you is that your mind is not safe, it is not self-state show up in trying to prove your worthness through being egoistical or expressing great bravado. Through inconsistent love, direction, and identity. You really need independence and people around you who add to the freedom and expansiveness of life and recognize that you are a mirror for the identity of others. In your 4-6 profile, like your sun, you are temporary at your second phase stage and Uranus opposition, and you will learn how to be an observer and judge who is wise and objective. You are on the cross of sleeping phoenix within the quarter of civilization, in which your energy that you carry is about being busy. It doesn't matter what you are doing. You just know that being busy is what you need to be. There is a strong degree of individualism in this energy, and from that you can derive strength or aloneness, joy or melancholy. You can be busy and be happy, or be busy with your sadness. Finding the happiness is definitely up to you. Okay, let's go one step further. One step further is differences between you two. Yelena and Niksha have differences that complement one another, and these differences can create tension and conflict, especially when one doesn't understand the other. It's very helpful to understand each other so you don't try to change these differences or take them personally. Both of you are generators, and you can really easily communicate with each other, always asking one another yes/no questions. Both of you are here to respond, but in a case of Niksha, he needs to wait to be emotionally clear about his decisions that can sometimes be frustrating to Yelena's busy energy that operates in the moment, in the now. Niksha's decision-making process that is slower is very different from Yelena in the moment response. So having to wait for Niksha to reach clarity may be frustrating to you, Yelena. And you may sometimes not understand why Niksha is so indecisive and can make up his mind. Your mother, Niksha, may have a response to go to the mountains right now, but she may get frustrated when you, Niksha, doesn't know what you feels like doing or takes a long period of time to get ready. Yelena, you can amplify and likely distort Niksha's emotional wave and could get hooked into the juicy upside, becoming attached to it. But you could get hooked into the downside also, which may overwhelm you greatly and sometimes may become consumed with painful and unpleasant feelings that aren't your own, Yelena. So important for you is to leave Niksha's aura if the emotions ever become too intense for you and not take the wave personally, believing you are responsible for Niksha's pain and also responsible for making him feel better. No, that is not your job, Yelena. Also, you need to be careful not to make emotional decisions or act impulsively when in a Niksha emotional field, but to stay grounded in your sacral. Have you noticed, Niksha, that sometimes you can feel if your mother is under pressure to get things done? Her pressure can influence you in a way that you become hyperactive. Just remember that you are not here to be in a hurry or using pressure energy because it can only damage your physical health. Allow pressure to follow through without acting on it. Also, are you aware that sometimes you can sense and somehow read the lack of well-being in the other? For example, if your mother, Niksha, is under the fears or sick, you can literally sense as a barometer and can tell whether your mother is healthy or ill. That is your great wisdom. You are absorbing the ill health of others. In that way, you read it and can help your mom or others, or you learn how to avoid those kinds of people. In your case, Yelena, you definitely know that you cannot make promises to Niksha, but in some way make bargains, because it is his almost 70% of the costume that he's wearing. So he really needs bargains in his life. And with your son, only those bargains that you can accomplish, as it is his way of functioning on this mundane plane. Anytime when he comes home sad or angry, you do not need to run in his room asking what's wrong, as his emotional wave will pass. And when he's ready, he will speak about it or not. And Niksha, your mom has a great wisdom potential to help you in guiding your new direction as she can step in your shoes and offer loving, correct guidance for you. Trust in that part of your mom. And especially if she tells you that she doesn't like that restaurant or that shop, don't be angry at her. That is her inside the GPS that tells her that place on which she is not correct for her. Both of you are right angle profile, which gives for both of you a self-absorbed destiny. You are here to work on your own life and not get absorbed in another's process. Both of you are 4-6. That means that Niksha will have the same path of trial and error process in his first 30 years. Both of you are here to be very influential through your network of people as a role model later in life. Yelena, you will be, through Niksha trial and error process, great support in understanding that most of those errors he needs to feel on his own skin, because it is the only way how he can learn. Allow him to fall and rise by its own. In looking of your activated gates and lines in a design, both of you are more collective, and your way of looking goes in a way to dedicate yourself to the collective good. Also, both of you can spend great time chattering and finding answers on different questions that you are ready to share with the others when asked. Niksha is more in a collective sensing sharing, and you, Yelena, in a logical sharing. Sometimes Niksha might get annoyed with your constantly correcting everything and sharing your opinions and knowledge. Although you are both 4-6, Yelena is more introspective in your studying, Yelena, and investigating, sometimes insecure. That is why you are studying to overcome that insecurity. Education is one of the most important things for you through life, Yelena. On the other hand, Niksha is more of objective, optimistic leader with vision, capable and wise authority, who is interested in the broader view and in seeing what's on the horizon. He is idealistic, but needs to learn that you don't have to know what your career is going to be when you are 15. You will need to wait until your 40s. So Yelena, you need to be very patient with Niksha maturation process. Just like you, he will probably, through his life path, change a lot of jobs, ideas, and dreams. He needs this experimentation phase to be accepted by you, Yelena, as his mutation role model mom. When we touch your dominance channels, we can see both of you have something that you are bringing to the relationship and into the life of the other person, which means that both of you are learning and accepting the other way of processing information, life, other people. So when we talk about first of you, Niksha, this is a channel of curiosity, design of a seeker and a searcher. You are definitely bring the curiosity and always searching about past experience, but without absolute truth. And remember, without expectations and always through responding with clarity, all of your insatiable curiosity ideas come in the right timing, Niksha, for you. After that, you can enjoy with your mom in sharing all of those stories. That is your dominant part. Also, a design of part seeking a whole. This is part of your incarnation cross. Also brings into the relationship your tribal trust, loyalty, support, bargains that Yelena is learning about. What does it mean to be emotionally clear, to approach the bargain in a very careful way over time, and only when bargain is struck with mutual clarity can it ultimately succeed. Niksha, Niksha is also bringing a light of individual mind that Yelena don't have in her way of conceptualizing. That is a design of Genius to Freak. As you bring that empowerment of efficiency, Niksha, you are here to offer simplicity through that structuring. And if you can explain how to be more efficient in that way, you are able to empower your mom and mutate her. On the other hand, Yelena's channel of judgment, a design of insatiability, your insatiable drive for correcting and perfecting the patterns may sometimes be annoying to your 15-year-old son, but he's here to amplify your great joy in sharing with you how you need to be a better human being. But just remember, Niksha, that her perfecting is not a two-way street. She doesn't like to be perfected from the other part. Your dominant part in relationship with your son, Yelena, is definitely the channel of brainwave, design of penetrating awareness, and empower him to be intelligent. What does it mean? You are deeply absorbed in strategies about living, and you need to be invited, Yelena, to share your mutative force. Life invites you to allow intuition to carry you in the now and to speak for you in the now. And Niksha needs to invite you so you can release your wisdom. Invitation allows that knowing to come out. Okay. In a part of your relationship, there is one place through which you two can flow in your energy of naturally gift that both of you have in this life. It is definitely the channel of logic, a design of mental ease mixed with doubt. It is discovering questions and immediately come up with answers. It is doubting mind that is constantly filtering patterns in order to see whether they are consistent or not. Both of you have a real easy in the way in which you deal with mental patterns and really can enjoy in conversations together. Your logical way of thinking is of great value to humanity, but only when it is asked for logical opinion. Also, there is places in your relationship through which you will feel a hard time, misunderstanding or conflict, especially if some of you are forcing its way without awareness that it is just mechanic. This is definitely the channel 1762. Niksha, your mother always has opinion about something and it is impossible to argue with her and there is nothing that you can do about it as well. She has the detail-oriented way of organizing a people, and there is easy in her way of translating concepts into language, supporting it with facts and details. You maybe sometimes can find yourself looking for a name to represent your concepts, for facts, to support your opinions, and for effective means to communicate your suggestions, Yelena. On the other hand, also, Niksha, where your mother is compromising you is definitely through this channel of charisma. Your mother, Niksha, is always busy with something. It is a part of her costume that she's wearing in this lifetime, and she's designed to be self-centered with her busyness, and she will not suddenly stop. No, it is just mechanic of that energy. So sometimes you can feel that she does not care, and that type of her behavior can make you frustrated, Niksha. But great guidance that you can give her is definitely through your Genius to Freak. With your capacity and ability to structure things efficiently, you provide efficient guidelines for your mom, Niksha. That guidance is simply being ready to respond, and in that response, finding efficient and perfected action in the now. Isn't it great between you two? You are leading your mom. You are showing your mom a new way of being efficient in this life. You can help her, but also can feel sometimes that you don't know how to transform your thoughts into deeds and to express yourself, Niksha. Through her channel of power, this is her channel of power, you are learning, Niksha, that she is so connected with her intuition in the now, and only through responding, your mother can empower your intuitive capacity to survive. But for you, it is important never to answer in the now and always waiting for your emotional clarity. Never jump to make any kind of spontaneous decisions, because in that way you may feel around her that you need to act in the now, which may become unhealthy, definitely unhealthy for you. Through channel of exploration, that is your dominant energy, a design of following one's convictions, Niksha, you will always have perfect behavior as long as you're responding, and always when following your natural responses, you are centered in your convictions, no matter how unusual they be. So Yelena will be compromised in a way of finding her right behavior through your energy and feeling of lack self-love, and sometimes judging you for being so self-centered. But on the other hand, Yelena, you are learning so much through his responding energy, and it's impacting you to find your own center, and it is self-love. Through your abstract mind, Niksha, that is very busy and extremely active in finding its way to clarity, you will always come back to the same things, but never on the same way. Yelena can lose herself in that energy and can put pressure on herself and forget to wait for the revelation, which truly brings mental activity to a temporary halt. And on the last part, there is a explanation of your electromagnetic connection that sparks that sparks your light. First is a channel of concentration. That is your electromagnetic connection. One of your great advantages when you are together is that you can easily concentrate to work on something. Niksha, you have integrated diligence for details and capacity to persevere your attention for long periods of time, but especially when you are with your mom. Borrowing the aura from your mom, you are able to sit still long enough to concentrate. Yelena, on the other hand, within the aura of your son, you can know what activity or details to concentrate on. Through these electromagnetic channels, through this connection, you two can benefit in a way that Yelena's core essence energy, that is 2010, Yelena's core energy, core essence energy of totally absorbed frequency in the present moment gives a voice to Niksha behavioral patterns, and together you create commitment to higher principles. Niksha, with his role of authority, because you have it in a line one, it is your role that you are playing as authority, empowers your potential, Yelena, to surrender to living authentically as yourself. This energy is true awakening through surrender, but not in a way of becoming something. It is commitment to be yourself when you are together. Beautiful, isn't it? Also, we have 1057. Oops, sorry. Let me go back. In this part, 1057, in this part of your authority role, Niksha, will be guided by your mother's intuition. And together you are creating perfected form. It is very creative energy, and they call it the art of survival. Through this frequency, only when you enter into situations correctly can the perfect behavior emerge out of your reactions in the now. Through this connection with your mom, Niksha, you are able to express your emotions in a very charming way, and when you are in the mood. Silence sometimes can make you nervous and can feel fear that there is nothing worthwhile to listen to. But when you are with your mom, that fear disappears. Also, Yelena, with your vocal expression and tone of your voice, sometimes when you are in the mood, you can bring to your relationship very unique message in a transformative way of speaking about your feelings. In your talent connection, Niksha, you can really see the depth of the knowledge that your mom is bringing into your life, and she is helping in correcting and encouraging your discipline practice. On the other hand, you make a great advantage into the life of your mother, as she can, without you, experience feeling of inadequacy and fear that she won't be able to explain her solutions. Just remember that, Niksha, you are here to draw and initiate that depth from your mother, because in that way her talents come from her naturally, and she can mentor your skills. Because Yelena completes your split, Niksha, you may feel like your mom makes you whole and complete, but again, the split only creates the illusion of incompetencies. Sometimes, as your relationship is 9 and 0, there is no room for anybody else. It is very, very difficult for anybody to get in. And sometimes Niksha may feel trapped as a triple split who needs movement through life. And Yelena is a single definition who is not designed to need the other, to assist you in assimilation of information or to feel a sense of wholeness. And sometimes Niksha may feel, through his totally undefined splenic center, form an unhealthy attachment to Yelena in order to feel integrated, energized, directed, and lovable. You have a harmony on the design side of nodes. On the design side of the nodes, it is a harmony. Yelena is line 3 and the Niksha is line 6. Which means you will be in the same environment through which you will be fulfilling purpose through mistakes, adaptation, mutation, objective view, optimism, and role modeling. You will be a part of environment and people who understand material plane and discovering what does or doesn't work through trial and error, and also those who see other dimensions for all of us and waiting to be called to share their wisdom. They have a harmony in where they be, but have a dissonance in what they see. Because it is line 6 and in Yelena is line 1. They will live in the same places but see different through each lenses. I'm wishing both of you a lot of learning through each other, relationship, understanding, and appreciating first yourself and then the other. And only through this, your relationship can mature and become a great example of how to learn to love yourself. Have a great day. And please let me know if something I need to clarify for you. Bye-bye.